Hello everybody and welcome back to Hearts of Iron, where apparently we had some resource issues. I've already rectified those, there we go, but I don't know where those came from. I don't remember them existing last episode, but we'll see. We'll see, I just loaded up the game and maybe it reloaded something, I don't know. Regardless, it's not that big of a deal. So we got that rectified. How are we doing on our construction here? Okay, 7 out of 15. It's gonna be a little while, but we're prepping for this invasion of the Japanese shogunate. So, I think it's about time to enter this war. Now, Japan is attacking the German Empire. We know that. And their manpower is going down pretty quickly, actually, while they're doing naval invasions of India here. And I love to see that. There's also some fighting going on up here. So, Japan is definitely getting stretched pretty thin on the manpower front. How are they doing on that right now? That's their deployed troops, isn't it? No, that's their available manpower. It's dropped below 1 million. Nice. So that's great. Absolutely fantastic. So we are definitely going to need to get ourselves some air wings. There's no doubt about that. And we need to get air wings in several locations here. We've already looked at this, but we want to hold this tile, or rather this sea zone. We'd love to hold this one. We can maybe assume that Indonesia can hold that, but I wouldn't want to. This would be a decent fallback here. We've got this airbase here that can kind of cover this zone. Kind of. So there is that. Now we're at 353 air experience for the time being. I think that we should wait until we get our fighters maxed. And why are we currently losing fuel? Army requirements, because we're moving all of these guys down. Right. So our planning here is going to be underway. We don't have the naval supremacy in this region, of course. The question is, once we deploy, will we? I don't know. I don't know. So, we definitely want to have control up here. There's our degaussing finishing, and we are going to, from here, grab ourselves, I think, acoustic mines. There we go. We'll get that underway. I definitely want to get some air wings up over here. So we're going to put in just carrier fighters. And I can definitely tell it's allergy season because of sneezing. We're going to put in some carrier fighters, and we're going to put in some carrier bombers as well. Apparently we can't put carrier naval bombers in air bases. That's interesting. Yeah, they can be stationed on a carrier, but apparently they can't be stationed on an airbase. Fascinating. That does have an effect on the landscape. Because I was definitely planning on having naval bombers in air bases. Or no, we can. We just can't have it in the same air wing. I'm dumb. Okay, that was 639 of them that we put here. We don't need that many. For the time being, we are going to have 5. Okay. So those will deploy in. And we're going to do the same sort of thing over here. We'll decide on our numbers here in a moment. But I want to have a single, not carrier fighter here. We already have carrier fighters. I want to have a single carrier naval bomber here. And then we're going to do the same down over this way. A carrier naval bomber. And we're also going to put in our carrier fighters. Okay. So the idea behind this... we already did this over... No, we didn't do it in Bismarck. Let's do this over here. The idea behind this, of course, is to get us some measure of defenses versus the Japanese Navy out here. Some measure. I don't expect these to be entirely successful, to be clear. Okay, we'll put carrier fighters in over here, and then we'll also have our air wings from our carrier. Okay. So where are we actually going to defend? Here, here. Probably these two because of... Certainly this one. This one is a little awkward for us because of range. So maybe we can hope Indonesia can hold that, and then we defend here as well. That would be the broad idea. Now, we don't have a lot of range over the far eastern Indian Ocean. In fact, we kind of have better range over the Timor Sea here. So we may actually want to put in another wing of carrier fighters and carrier bombers over here, like so. So this can control there. This can control here. This will attempt to control the Bismarck Sea. This will also attempt to control the Bismarck Sea, most likely. And then this would be the Solomon Sea. And then the Tasman Sea, of course, we would be set up like that. So these guys over here, we would grab one unit of fighters, and they would go over the far eastern Indian Ocean. And then they would be set to air superiority out here, which we currently can't do. But that's okay. These guys would come out to the Timor Sea. Or no, that's because those were bombers. Yeah, I'm dumb. So if we do this right now, these guys would be on naval strike. Or perhaps on mine laying. Mine laying is an interesting option. We're going to do naval strike for the time being. But mine laying is definitely an interesting option out over here to begin with. So we don't currently have that available. And let's check in here. It seems like, yeah, we don't have aerial mine laying yet. Cool. Okay, so we'll get that going. And then up over here, I definitely want to have these guys out over here in air superiority. And these guys would be on naval strike. For the time being, we may switch them to naval mine laying when we have the possibility of doing it. Cool. These guys over here, both of these are going to be in the Bismarck Sea. So we're going to do something kind of like this. And then these guys are going to be set to air superiority and naval strike for the time being. And then naval strike and air superiority. Cool. These guys over here, they're going to be in the Solomon Sea, of course. Naval strike and air superiority. We'll figure out exactly how many planes we want in each of these a little bit later on. But for now, I just wanted to get that all set up. So that plan is in place when this war breaks out. Not if this war breaks out, when that war breaks out. Because it will happen. I guarantee you. Okay. So that's all fine. Our naval production is going to be not great for the moment. But we are going to have a carrier done pretty soon here. How goes our preparation here? 72 out of 84 days. I definitely don't want to trigger this on our own initiative until we have aerial mine laying. I think that that's very clear that that's a bad idea. I'd like to get aerial mines set up in all of these locations. So we're going to definitely wait on that. That's for sure. But we're getting incredibly close here to intervening in this war. Let's check in on... Oh, that's another invasion of India by Japan there. Fascinating. Let's check in on their manpower quickly. They're back up to 2 mil. They must have gone to a higher level of mobilization, which we'll be able to do, to be clear. We will be able to do that. Cool. So our carrier is going to finish up here soon. And we're working on our carrier fighters and bombers. We're about to be able to get our carrier fighter 3s maxed. We can do that now. So we're going to create a variant of the Firefly Mark 1. This will be the Firefly Mark 2. And we're going to bring that up like so. Boom. Firefly Mark 2 is now what we produce. Beautiful. So that's our top tier fighter. And we don't have any equipment in stock that we can convert, sadly. But we'll just start producing that. And then as far as the Carrier Bomber 3 goes, we're currently doing the Firebrand, right? And that needs to be modified eventually. So we need to bring this up to like 3.3 or something, but for now, we just don't have the air experience to work on our naval bombers. But we did get our naval fighters, so that's great. I'm thinking that we might have each of these go to a squadron of like 50. We'll see what kind of manpower that ends up bringing in, or that ends up consuming. It will be some. Yeah, that was a lot of manpower, actually. Well, we probably also just put to sea our carrier, didn't we? Yes. That was primarily the carrier. Okay. So let's bring all of these up to 50 for the time being. I'm going to pause here while we're doing this, because we have manpower right now, but that manpower might disappear on us. So I want to get this all up to 50 before we run out of manpower. There we go. Is that all of them? I think that's all of them. And let's see what that does to our manpower. It shouldn't be a huge issue. Yeah, we're out of manpower. I'm not hugely shocked about that. We'll let that work its way through, though. We should be okay on our air manpower there. Cool. So we're currently low on supplies, and I'm guessing that's right here in our capital. Yes, indeed. Which is a little bit wacky, but it's to be expected. Do we not have a supply hub in our capital? Maximum level reached. Okay. Well, that's fine. And now that we are flat out of manpower, I kind of want to start training 2 infantry divisions. Actually, 1 infantry division and 2 armored divisions at this time. Now, these are not going to make progress unless that bug comes back. At least not anytime soon. We're flat out of manpower. But once we go to war, we're going to be able to mobilize up pretty quickly. And that will be a reasonably big deal. So that'll be great. Where are we going to go to for our mobilization? Well, we're going to go to, like, extensive conscription. We're not going to sit on service by requirement unless we absolutely have to. Okay. So we'll proceed here, and that will double our current recruitable population, which will be nice. That'll bring us up to, like, 600 monthly growth. That's not terrible, actually. Cool. So diesel-powered emergency pumps will be done in 19 days. We're certainly waiting until our mine laying is done. That's 100% a thing that we're waiting on. These guys need 3 more factories to assume leadership. Okay. We probably want to declare this before they assume leadership. So we're going to finish up our diesel-powered emergency pumps soon. And we're going to declare this war very, very soon. I don't know what Japan has out in New Zealand right now. We do know that they just mobilized up further. So that's actually reasonably good for us. We don't know exactly what mobilization level they're on. Actually, we can see that they're on all-adult serve. So that's not good for their factory output. Fantastic. They've mobilized up extremely heavily. So they're on all-adult serve right now. They're not on scraping the barrel. So they can go a little bit further. But that shows that they're fairly desperate if they're willing to go that far. So that's cool. I'm hoping that Germany pushes them back over here again and does a huge amount of damage to their manpower. That would be very nice. We'll see if that ends up happening. 7 days on our diesel-powered emergency pumps. So that'll finish up soon. And Indonesia is not really a problem for us. We're just hoping that they actually join us in fighting Japan. The question is, will they be willing to? I think they will. I suspect so. Okay, so this research slot is now available. I'd love to go for aerial mine laying. That's not available. Finishing this will unlock 2 more mining areas. But I think for now, we're going to need to move on for the moment. We could grab logistics companies and make our way down here, or MPs, if we wanted garrisons. We could start working on our atomic research, but without building slots, that's not actually super helpful for us. We could continue to work on our fuel gain from our refinery, which isn't a terrible idea. Let's go ahead and grab modern oil processing. We know our fuel is going to be a potential issue, so I think that's fine. We have a huge amount of maximum consumption, so that's definitely something that we are interested in doing. Now I want to take a look here. What do we need? We don't actually know. We don't actually know what we need for reinforcements there in terms of manpower. Sad. So this is all reasonably fine. We've been stockpiling for a long time at this point. And we've got our quasi-defense plan ready to go here. Let's take a look at our navy here. So we've got 2 carriers, we've got 3 subs, and we've got 4 destroyers. We're pretty vulnerable to air, except that we have, of course, our carriers. So I'd like to have at least 1 battleship and cruiser done by the time we declare this. We can't deploy this submarine hull because we have insufficient manpower. That's not surprising. Cruiser is going to be done on 28 April, so in about a month. And the destroyer is going to be done on 12 July. Okay. So I think that's our timing. We did just finish up a technology here. That was acoustic mines. So we definitely take aerial mine laying here next. Once that finishes, then we can start our mine laying, hopefully preemptively, but I'm guessing that we'll have to be at war to actually do that, which is sad. And we'll just have to keep in mind the zones that are being mined, which are these, which means that we'll have to exit like this if we want to fight Japan, but that's okay. We don't mind that. I would rather have all of this be blockaded by mines than have to deal with Japan coming through there and landing on these shores. Hopefully we don't have to deal with that, but we'll see. Now, is our manpower currently going into our recruitment here, rather than our air and navy wings? It is. Can we prioritize where our manpower goes? I don't think so. Which is sad. So I'm going to cancel these. And we'll let that manpower go into the Navy and Air Force. Did that go into that submarine? Yes, it did. Okay, that's actually reasonably ideal. Cool. So we're going to cancel those for now. We want this manpower to go into our Air and Navy for the moment. Yeah, we definitely need more manpower for our Air Force. No doubt about that. So we'll continue tossing that manpower in there, and our Navy is going to need a good chunk of manpower as well. Because these cruisers, how much are they going to take? 1,400 for the cruiser. And for the heavy ship, that's going to be in 55. Yeah. For the battleship, that's going to be a while. But that's going to take how much? 6,000. Okay. Well, that's fine for the moment. We'll get our pressure mines. There we go. So we're definitely going to be going out over this way. No doubt about that. That's 100% going to happen. I do want to continue to recruit here soon. Oh, German Netherlands again. Okay, we'll check in on that. Checking in on the state of the war, it's still pretty stagnant, all things considered. Yeah, India fell. That was the latest big thing that happened, though. The US managed to push the British out. Cool. I wonder if they're planning to attack Japan soon. How's Japan doing on manpower now? They were at like 3 mil. They're still mobilizing up, it looks like. Okay. Cool. But they're getting pushed back over here and over here. And this is huge because these troops will get stack wiped, and that's going to be a big pain point for Japan. For sure. No doubt about that one. So we're going to be finishing up our aerial mine laying in 101 days, and I think that's primarily what we're going to be waiting on. Now, we can't deploy our cruiser hull here because we don't have the manpower. 1,400 on that, but that's okay. For now, we are putting what little scraps of manpower we get into our Air Force. And really, it shouldn't be too bad to get that done. I think. So these fighter wings, of course, they're going to be out in the Tasman Sea. Like this. And they're going to be on air superiority. But they can't perform missions when it's docked in port. Our bombers, they're going to be on naval strike out over here. But there we go. For the time being, that'll do. Our supplies here are low. We know that. There's not a lot that we can do about it, really, though, other than, like, try to spread these out. But this is ready to go. We lack the naval supremacy, obviously, but it's ready to go otherwise. Okay. So looking at our Air Force here, we do still need a decent chunk of manpower there. I think that will get there reasonably soon, though. Let's see, we have 11,000 in our Air Force right now. Okay. A huge chunk of our manpower went into that carrier, which is a little bit unfortunate, but it is what it is. We'll get this all done reasonably soon. So I am going to queue back up the divisions here, but only to see if that bug still exists. If we're able to get that to recur. We'll see. If it doesn't happen, well, if it does happen, I don't know what I'll do. I mean, we desperately need the manpower. If it doesn't happen, then we'll just cancel them. Definitely. If it does happen, we can cancel them and just suck up the manpower into our Air Force. So either way, we would cancel them. It's a potential option. I don't know how good of an option it is, but it would mean that we're going to be able to attack Japan faster. So maybe that's not the worst of things. Technically, if we really wanted to abuse this, we would add 25 divisions here. Oh, we can't train quite that many, but we would cancel all of these, right? So it would be something like this. If we really wanted to abuse it. We'll see if it happens, and we'll make a save here. Actually, I'm going to make 2 saves. So this is going to be the save with all of these queued up. And then I'm going to cancel all of these, and we'll make another save, renaming this to be No Cheese. There we go. So we can always revert this if we want to. Cool. And we'll see if this ends up filling up. So let's go ahead and load in the cheese version for right now, because I want to have that as a bit of an illustrative thing here. So if this bug ends up recurring, we're expecting to gain like 260,000 manpower here. That's insane. That is absolutely insane. We'll see if it happens, though. It is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to finish aerial mine laying, and I think we're going to attack Japan. Either way, bug or no. We'll see what happens. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including Casserole, Sigma162, JJ Gamer, Ken2In, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Video Games Are Not Real, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Kadra, Raw Potato, Elmichi Nazi, Justin Everett, Emiliano Cambron, Martin Lawrence, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.